Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third episode. First of all, before we go very far, I just want to give a very, very, very big shout out to everyone who is liking, who is commenting, who is sharing this podcast. Tunawacheki, and we will definitely be giving you a shout out on the next episode. But thank you very much for engaging with us. Thank you so much, for sending all the good wishes, for the encouragement, for the questions, for the reactions. Buddha maze, mbetu overwhelm. Doktari.
Thank you to the 153 subscribers.
And counting.
Yes. So as usual, I know it's only episode 3 and it's very early to say as usual, but we're going to have a very, very good discussion today, and we have a treat for you by the name of one Mr. Edson. Edson, salimia.
Tupo site. Thank you for having me. Can't wait to have this discussion with you guys.
Karibu sana. And as usual, the star,
the Kienyeji Promax medical representative in the room, Doktari Otis.
Doktari.
None other than.
So you're not shooting blanks.
No. Up, we hit our targets.
Okay.
Yes, this show is all about hitting targets. So if you have been following the past 2 episodes, you know that this show primarily is based on the articles by Doktari Otis, which means that we will definitely be jumping into one of the finer articles. And if you want to jump ahead of us, then just go to LinkedIn, search for Josh Rabura. Under Josh, you will find Doktari Otis Newsletter. It is a wealth of information for anyone who's thinking about joining this noble profession called a medical representative. Anyone who is in need, I'm sure you'll find something that is very relatable. And anyone who also works with medical representatives, I think you will find yourself in one of these episodes. So, Daktari, what are we talking about today?
Today we're focusing on contacts. So are your contacts still valuable? Or how valuable are your contacts in medical sales?
Is your network really that valuable in medical sales, or are you just popular? Now, one of the things about being a medical representative, and in order for you to survive and, of course, be able to do your job very well, it means out of every call that you're making, you have to pick a contact, because it helps you to cut your work in half. If you're going to book an appointment, if you need something to happen, then these are the contacts that will help you. And I think, Doktari, in my opinion and in my experience, I think akunanga simu inakwanga imejaa kuliko ya medical representative in terms of connections.
Yeah. Manze, wase wanakuwaga na contacts mob numbers. Like every day you have to send in a report. And in most of the companies or in most of the organizations, so when you are sending in the reports, so there is a contact section. So you have to fill in the doctor's details or the HCP details, so plus their phone numbers. And by default, of course, you'll save the numbers because you've already visited these guys. And utakuwa na namba ya kila mtu in the industry.
Yes. And maybe just as a way of introduction, Edson is our new panelist today, here to share his experiences. As we said, if you want to come to the pod, we kuja.
We kamu tu.
We kamu.
Tuko kenzani. We kamu.
And Edson was one of the people who jumped at the opportunity. I think as soon as we released the first episode, he said, you know what, I must pop in. And so we are extremely, extremely excited to just host him and also to hear his views, his experiences in this episode. So I'll preface for those who have not read the episode. If you're in sales, if you're in medical sales, your phone can easily pass for a small Ministry of Health database. You have consultants, pharmacists, procurement officers, hospital CEOs. Mi hata nitaongeza hapo niseme secretaries, watchmen, nurses, gate people, you know, all that. And this story is based on when Otis used to scroll through his contacts with Pride. You do this after a long time when you hit that place where there's the doctor. You know, you have to scroll very fast because you have so many so many contacts. And till Otis would say, hey, niko na network kali bro, mi ni noma. Fire see fire.
Yule mse.
Pana chesa.
Fire see fire.
Fire.
And honestly, he wasn't wrong because of years of doing CMEs, work lunches, sample drops, endless follow-ups, birthday messages sent exactly at 8:01. Don't send after that.
Mm-hmm. No, not after that.
After that, umechelewa.
Mm-hmm.
He was visible, recognized, welcome until the logo disappeared. And this is where we will talk about a little. We will dive in this podcast. What happens when the logo suddenly disappears? But Edson, tuambie.
So, first of all, I'd like to give a big shout out to every medical representative out there. One thing I can attest is that hii kazi si rahisi, ni ngumu sana. And getting those contacts is not easy. You know, you can't just get a contact on your first visit. It takes subsequent visits to the healthcare professionals to be able to build that network of contacts. But do these contacts really relate to business? Do they relate to what kind of value do they add to us? I think many a times I believe that the contacts that we pick up do equate, to numbers.
Yep.
But after you leave the company A, do they still equate to numbers in company B? As you've mentioned, the logo then stops.
Otis, ebu tell us the day you resigned, because clearly hapa kuna mambo.
So the basis of this article was so after a meeting that I had with some clients,
Yep.
and prospects, so within Nairobi. So there was this investor. So we were rolling out a digital product. So we were doing a nationwide rollout of a digital system somewhere. And one of the investors or the lead partners in that project asked me, "Hey Josh, since you've been in sales in med-repping like for all this time, for like over 15 years, so you must be having all these numbers. So these are your people. So it's an easy. So you can just send them a message and inform them that you want to have maybe a conversation with them or share some intel with them."
Tuko tayari.
Yeah, tuko tayari bana.
Yes.
Now, so for me it was an easy thing to do because I assumed all the contacts that I had were legit. Because over 90% of the contacts that I had, most of them I had more than 3 interactions. By 3 interactions, I mean that both from their offices, we had some even working lunches, some conferences, CMEs. So they were my guys, they were my buddies. So for me, I thought that they would translate to what I wanted. Like if I just reached out to them, the feedback would be positive. So angenijenga. So that was the basis of this article.
And what happened after that?
Boss, out of over 400 doctors that I had in my contacts, I sent a message to everyone, and apparently only like less than 10% replied my message, because I just sent a simple message. Hey guys, hey, we are doing this and this, so I would really like, I was not even requesting anything from them. I just really want to know your view on this and stuff, that because that was just an introductory message for us to go to the next conversation or stage. So I thought that technically these guys are always busy, probably they'll respond. So I waited day 1. Day 2, nikasema sitawasumbua sana, wacha sasa ningoje day 3.
Character development.
Day 3 kusend, unaona tu mtu kwanza blue tick ndio hiyo. Okay, I don't mind blue ticks. I think I'm above that. But men, when you're desperate for business,
and you know they say the favorite color for most men is blue.
Blue. Of all the people niliona wamesoma message, so I had to nikasema si hao ni maboys wangu na hao ni mabeste wangu, even the ladies that I know.
Yes.
Kasema let me call them, let me give them a call. So some of them ananiambia, hey, just I'm busy, I'll call you back. Ananiambia, hey, so those little excuses, unajua akufukuza ya kuambia toka.
True.
So from that I realized, man, I didn't have numbers. So it came to a realization that the numbers that I had, it was not that the numbers were junk. Maybe I was not of value to them as I used to think I was.
And this brings me, and I think this is a very good place now to jump in. And Edson, I want you to jump in here. As a medical representative, as you were starting, how did you view collecting contacts? Were they just to serve the purpose of you getting an order and meeting your sales, or do you have a long-term view of, like, okay, let's see where this goes?
Well, of course, when you're starting up, it is for your own benefit. You're not thinking of that long-term value that you'll add to the customer. So for you, it's, let me get the pharmacist's number, kwa sababu au pharmacist atanisort order then before the in between the month.
Yeah.
Let me get the doctor's number, ndio unampigia. Watu wengine wakipanga line huko nje, unampigia tu simu, anakuambia kuja hii masaa. Yeah, So getting that number was more of a gateway,
yes,
to be able to see the HCPs. But over time, you realize that there's more to that number. What value am I adding to the doctor? What value am I adding to the pharmacist?
Okay.
So that comes down to now the long-term value, in the sense that this doctor, if somebody moves from one company to another, will they still be there to support you, despite of whatever brand you're promoting, or were they just there because of the benefits that came with you being in the said company? So there's a lot of parameters.
Yes.
That really, at the end of the day,
determine what and why you're getting the contact.
Exactly.
Yeah. And at this point, I want Doktari.
Yep.
Doktari, so there's something in your article that you talked about, and I want us to spend a bit of time on this, because a lot of people maybe understand it, a lot of people don't, but everyone will definitely reckon with it at some point in their career. And this is until the logo disappeared. Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't really know how much the logo for the company that they work for, how much value it adds. And I also, maybe in the same breath, and I hope it's not a very long question, for you to talk about what is the relationship between the medical representative and the logo as you grow in this practice.
Yeah, see, the logo is very important, and from a 360-degree point of view, you see, as a medical representative, you're not representing yourself. So you're working in line with a certain company. And by that means that you are attached to a particular logo. And it becomes juicier when you're attached to a company that is perceived to be leading or to be a bigger company. But the reality is not all companies are equal in sizes. So we have big multi-level tier 1 multinationals, we have tier 2 multinationals. So we also have mid-level companies, so which are extremely successful locally. And one of the things that happens in the field is that apparently majority of HCPs recognize the logo. They put the logo first. Remember, you are not the first one representing that company. Those companies have built reputation over years. Some of them more, it's decades. It's decades, like especially the top multinationals. They've
Exactly.
been there since 1920s. They discovered
That's why they're called the originator brands.
the originator brands.
Yes.
So they are the pioneers, man. So like you are not bigger than them. So sometimes you tend to get carried away, and you think that it is mutually exclusive. That it is you who is helping the company more, but
Yep.
the opposite is it is the company
That is helping you.
that is helping you.
Yeah.
You just a survivor, because if you remove that logo if you just stop representing that company, so how many calls will you get? So that is the point here.
Yep. And Edson, before we go to you, maybe just to also get from your perspective, what do you think? What do you think a logo represents? Like, does it come with bias? Does it come with bias? Like, let's say tuko kwa daktari na tuko wase kama 10, and the doctor is passing through. Do you think if we all had our logos on our foreheads, the doctor would rank us in a certain way?
Most definitely. The logo opens doors. There's a way, as you've mentioned, there's so many companies in this industry, whereby we have tier 1, tier 2, and local companies that are actually doing quite well. So depending with which company you're aligned to, as you mentioned, I think the title is medical representative. You're a representative
of the company.
Of the company at the end of the day. Okay, because of the company comes with a lot of perks.
Yeah.
The doctor will respect you because of the company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think also beyond the perks, I think there's one thing that you mentioned that I would like to also jump into, which was the company has been there for a very long time, and in this long time they've also taken their time to establish a certain way in which they are represented. There are people who have put, let's say, the people who planted the tree. Yeah, you're just taking care of it. It's your turn to take care of it. Yeah, and because of that, then it means that at some point, the company, it's in their benefit if you and the logo seem to be one thing, right?
Yes.
Because then, this is where we talk about values. This is where we talk about ethos. This is where we talk about how we work. Because then, when you're going out there, you're basically the logo yourself. Yeah, and now for Otis, maybe jumping back into into Edson's point, do you think it gives you preferential treatment when you're out there? You are talking about perks.
Yes, it does, because I think Doktari Otis mentioned that different companies have different resources. You cannot be all in. You can't play in the same field at the same time. Each company has perks like they're able to sponsor for conferences. They're able to hold CMEs.
Yep.
And are those companies that are unable to do so.
Yep.
And I believe that's what doctors have been there for a long time. Companies have been there for a long time. They know which company can do what.
Okay.
They know each company's capability, and they would want to align themselves with that. So it is the logo at the end of the day that
the doctor's value.
Exactly.
And I think also we should mention that when we say the doctor's value, we should say HCP, because we don't just deal with doctors. We deal with
pharmacists, nurses.
Kila mtu. Yeah, and Doktari, so tell us about the day you resigned. So you left the big multinat.
Yeah, before resigning,
uliamka asubuhi ukajituma, ukaenda ukanok mlango, ukaambia mimi.
Before niingie kwa hiyo point, as in venye Ed amesema hapa, as in, so these companies, for me, I categorize them like if you look at the Premier League.
Yep.
The Premier League or the European clubs.
Yes.
So we have the teams that play Champions League, right?
Yes.
So for me, the Tier 1 multinationals naweka in
Champions
the level
League.
of Champions League. So mid tier ni hizi za mid table team.
Wako Europa na Conference
Wako
League.
Europa na Conference League.
Then kuna others.
Then wengine ni wale tu wanacheza relegation in the game. Wengine,
Struggling.
Then wengine wako championship. So championship. So for me, when I resigned,
Yes.
I was working for a company.
We kwanza uliresign ukasema acha utoke EPL.
Hata unaenda National League wewe. Hata ukienda Championship.
nilitoka Champions League because the company that I was working for was a tier 1 multinational.
Yes.
So hiyo team inatoka Champions League. Then Buddha, do you know ukiresign hata si ati umeenda championship. Yani umeenda tu ni kama League 1 huko down.
Hata si relegation.
Si relegation. Ai.
Sasa daktari, uliamka we na kifua ukajipeleka kwanza ukaingia kwa laptop ukaandika resignation. Doktari Otis.
Formally.
With immediate
effect.
Buda unajua pesa kidogo ikiingia kwa account inaweza kuchanganisha akili.
Uko na volume vibaya sana.
Si ati niliresign kwa sababu ati nilikuwa noma. Mse pesa ilinidanganya kidogo kwa account. Nikaona watu wanacheza ya akili. And I used to think that bila mimi wacha tuone penye watenda. Hiyo kampuni ni mimi.
Watafunga kwani
That's a long story short. Now when I resigned, so the HCPs that I used to visit.
Yes.
To see, most I had created relationships with them. So I had their contacts and everything. So now, au majama wa hapa CBD wameniambia hey ni aje, so you contact these guys of yours.
Yes.
So now, after sending these messages, so I had to also to go an in-person visit, a face-to-face visit with them.
Yep.
So for me it was easier. So now I know where they are. It's just I didn't even book an appointment because I was used. In fact, I had reached a level where I was not booking an appointment to see CPs. Man, they were my guys, man.
Tulikuwa tunaita super rep.
So akiingia viatu polished nini shati tip seamless.
So the one that's okay. I'm saying, hey Josh, hey, you are here. You see now you are breaking news to them.
Yes.
I know. So they assume that we are to stuzie dawa. No. Right now nimekuja na mazuri. So unajua now they're expecting something. Now I have brought this product. I'm the one. Sasa hii product ni yangu.
Yes.
I want you guys to stock it for me.
Yeah. This is after umeingia local league.
Umeingia local league. Msee anakuangalia hivi anakuambia ni sawa, wewe niachie detail aid, niachie product hapo ama fanya hivi. I'm busy right now.
Nitumie link.
So you have my number. Just send me a link. Then we will talk later.
Yes.
So because you understand the setup, their setup. People are busy at work. Sometimes when somebody just tells you they're busy.
And you have to give grace. Unaona mtu mazee, akona vitu zake pia zinaendelea.
Na amekupea audience.
Huu ni ule boy tulikuwa tunaenda na yeye maeneo na anakuambia kwa busy. So you trust that he's busy. So you move on to the next one. Man, the pattern repeats itself.
Yes.
Because now you don't have the logo. You don't have like the big logo. In fact hata wengine labda tuseme ile isi logo ni ile jina imeshonwa.
We ngoja ati kushonwa. My friend, hakuna budget ya branding. There's no budget for branding. What do you mean? Kwanza tupate sales za kwanza. We see if this is a viable market. And then
we'll think about it.
Hata logo hatuja design.
Bas. Wewe na vibes and inshallah.
Mwingine anakuuliza hii product unatupatia uko sure ni legit?
Bas.
Iko registered na gava.
Number 1 in India.
Number 1 in India. Maze, that's when you know. Maze, refs wengine wana facing maze problem. Maze, you are not equal. So the same questions that you are being asked as a rep, not everyone goes through that stage. Kuna wengine maze, their life is easy.
Yes.
Based on who they represent as a company.
Yes. And so a lot of this article again just goes back to the network, and this is for the purpose of someone who's new. How do you go around collecting and building value for the contacts that you're collecting? Because, and the reason I'll say this is, a lot of the people who we started with in this career are still in this career.
Yeah.
Ile siku tulikuwa tunapiga shughuli Isili, we were very many of us. And then, the probability that you'll also move from, company to company, and you'll do this about 3 to 4 times. It means that the people who are moving you, or the company that is adopting you, or the company that is buying your services, put it any way you want, they see that value of the relationships that you have built. On top of the skill that you have, there's also, equity in also the network that you are coming with, because then doors open faster, people respond faster, the time between introducing the product and the product moving into, let's say, the patient's hand becomes shorter, which in business is a good thing. So Edson, I just want to acha nikurushie hii. How do you think about it now? Let's assume like there's a new rep amekuja amesema hii shughuli yenyu hata mimi naweza piga, maza hizo suti umedunga hata mimi naona
mimi nataka kudunga bana,
naona hata mimi zinaweza nitosha.
Hiyo kiatu yako boss inaweza
luku moto.
Malio kiatu imepitia bro.
No, there's something really important that you've mentioned. Skill. Because you might have all that network, but the skill on how you're going to add value to your network is really important. I think that skill is what will determine how well you can adjust from one company to another and build on that value, whereby despite of the logo, you can still be successful. So if you incorporate both that skill and your network, because you can have all that network, but you don't have the skill to exploit the value and bring that network on board when you move companies.
Okay.
So that skill set is really important. I don't know if you agree with me, guys.
Yeah. I mean, to some extent, yes. I do agree with you, but Doktari, ebu tuambie, after uingie locally,
ulitumia skill ama you relied on vibes and inshallah?
I think Edson has mentioned something very important. So how do you so what value value, okay, what value are you exchanging with these HCPs?
Yes,
because yes, you assume that you have their contacts, that they are your contacts, but are you their contacts? So that's the big difference.
Actually, there's something that's really, what is the value do we have to offer? Do we, what value does the HCP see in us?
Yeah. Ngoja kwanza. You're going to make this very philosophical because umesema, you have their contacts, but are you in
their contacts?
Yeah, that's the key differentiator here.
Ama do they rely on Truecaller?
Sometimes they just see Truecaller, and yes, because they see the name of your company, they can pick. But ideally, just remove, because you are removing logos here.
Yes.
And so for a HCP to have your contact and store that contact, that means that there's something of value that they're expecting from you.
Beyond the logo.
Beyond the logo.
Yes.
Either, because from my experience, most of these HCPs store your contacts because of either follow-up, if maybe they want to follow up about your product, so whether your product is either available or if there's any issues across the supply chain, just like that, or because they want favors from you. Irrespective, because your favors are subjective. So one of the most important thing is just make sure they have your number. Them. Once you know they have your contact, now you have to prove that you know the value that you are giving them. And as you said, in terms of the short-term value, mid-term value, and the long-term value. So how do you position yourself now as a medical rep and to make sure that you are valuable to this HCP? Because as you said, even if you move from company A to company B, your value is still there.
Yes.
So how do you detach yourself now as an individual, as an individual med rep from, let's say, Doktari Otis differentiates himself from company A. So how do you differentiate yourself between the two? Because they are not mutually exclusive. But when you're handling that company, they are mutually exclusive because the company is paying you to represent them.
True.
So it is mutually exclusive.
Yep.
But again, now for you to create that value, now when you do a self-analysis, so how do you differentiate yourself from the logo? And in terms of value, because again, value is subjective, because at the end of the day, remember, if you're not giving them the value that they want from you, your contact is useless.
Yes, yes. And I mean, there was a theory and someone who was discussing, and they were saying about, it's like your Gmail, yeah? You know the way you go and at a certain time, you're so excited about something, and then you will go and search, and you will subscribe, and you will subscribe, and you will subscribe, and then maybe 6 months down the line, you don't even remember what the hell was I doing on this site.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
Am I the only one?
No. It even comes to a point whereby you even unsubscribe
Yeah.
because you don't relate with it anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And case in point, you've actually mentioned something really important. How do you detach from the logo? Because many a times, you approach a doctor, they don't call you by name. Brand X, umekuja leo. Brand Y, dawa iko sawa. You know?
Okay, ngoja Edson, by the way, I think one of the things we agreed on this pod ni kuna ukweli zingine ukisema zinauma.
Wacha ziume bana.
No, at the end of the day, I think we should pick a leaf from Jeff Koinange and Yvonne Okwara.
Yes.
This should be a podcast that is unhinged.
Pada. You do you know I think in experience kuna madaktari hata kwa kujua jina yako, but they know your molecule, bro.
Exactly.
Wanaona kuita jina ya molecule.
Umeingia mahali mpaka daktari anakudetailia.
Wacha hata hivyo. I think the worst one ni you're just out on social, as in unapiga tu raundi zako ni sato au javaa logo, as in unajua uko na personality different. Maze alafu unakutana na mtu maybe
maeneo
sio lounge
na
si java maeneo. Unakutana na mtu maeneo maze, alafu anakuita kwa crowd maze. Si proflox asin.
In your head you're like, either ni rep, ni daktari, ni nurse, ama ni pharmacist.
Man. A lot of respect to you guys, Mazem. Now, tulikapitia.
So
I think how proud kitu hiyo brand name initially.
I mean, ukikumbuka Maze, hiyo ndio brand inaekelea food kwa table. As in nifiti, because it also means that you've broken through the mold.
Exactly.
Yeah, you've broken through the mold. Mtu akikuona, as in the best thing, ile time unapiga raundi kwa hosi na uko kwa makorido na wewe na bag yako, you are trying to hide from security, metro na amekupatia second warning that usiongee na nasi yoyote. Daktari akikuona anapiga kona na decide atumie the longer route kufika kwa nini. So if people are seeing you and they are seeing your brand, by virtue of you just being there, you are selling.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the big picture of things, you are selling by just being there.
So
the problem comes in when you shift companies,
yes,
and the doctors see you after my shift, and they still remember you from, and your competitors.
Wacha. Hata nikwambie sasa, Doktari, tell me if you've ever had this experience. So you've shifted companies, and you are so good at what you are doing. Yani, mazo ulikuwa tops, as in, Buddha ulikuwa umeanza kuingia, alikuwa wa karate master. Umesha master technique.
Black belt and above.
Uko black belt maze. Alafu sasa unarudi local league. Kampuni ingine. Alafu unaenda na mdosi kwa na doki. Alafu unajua doki ni beshte yako. So anataka aoneshe supervisor ama manager wako that nyinyi maboy. That hii shughuli mmepiga, mpaka ikati. Alafu atakuita na jina hiyo kampuni.
Mdosi anakuangalianga na macho zingine. Anashanga uko sholi resign huko kwingine.
Ama una moonlight, una double deal bana.
Bas. Double agent, James Bond.
I know of a story. Nilikuwa napigiwa na nini na manager fulani alikuwa ananishow. Unajua the way you can be the only rep in the country. Yeah, so tuseme logo X ndio amekupatia hii job na wewe ndio the only rep hapa. So unapiga shughuli, you know, the whole country. So once in a while this manager alikuwa, you know, ile time anapiga ma lap zake.
Yeah.
So aka decide acha ni drop ni check you boy anapiga shughuli gani, because sales zinaenda fiti. Kila kitu inaenda sawa nini. Wameenda doctor visit. Daktari akasema hapa wacha mimi nikuambie juu hiyo msee, because msee tumepiga shughuli naye miaka mob. Acha no, don't tell me what you're here for. Let me tell you Maina. Let me tell you ile kazi mimi na huyu kijana tunapiga. Do you know ukijana alikuwa mtu wa busy
yake ya kando
mingi. That doctor went to explain the way this guy is so good at marketing, let's say Y product.
Yes.
From Y company. But the manager was from X company. Akamwambia vile wamepiga ma CME, vile wamepiga ma campaign, vile wamefanya ma training za nurses. Buda jamaa aliachishwa job nje ya mlango.
Alianikwa tu live.
Yeah. Hivyo tu.
So the guy was like moonlighting for two companies.
Okay, so I mean the guy is an absolute legend. Because kwa hiyo country alikuwa distributor, bro.
Hey, and the plot thickens.
Alikuwa na ma principal kawa 6.
What?
Huyo ni
beasts.
No man.
Huyo ni beasts.
Absolute legend. Yes. So I mean, just going back again to our discussion, and I just want to go back to the article where you mentioned there are two kinds of people. Kuna wale who know you, but after the logo disappears, they change up.
Yep.
And then there are those who know you and the logo disappears and they still come through.
Yep.
Yeah. Ebu tuambie Doktari.
So from one of the experiences is when we was launching that product. You assume because they know me, definitely.
Yeah.
Tapata hizo favors. Because you see, there is some point where you reach as a senior rep or maybe at management level, you don't queue with other reps.
Yeah.
It's not that you're disrespecting the process, but years in experience, man, you have to benefit from your relationship, and
exactly.
that is the reality. Hey, man, you have to pay your school fees ulilipa. If somebody has not paid,
yes,
so it's your time to reap the benefits.
Yeah.
So now later on, so these HCPs that I was expecting them to sort me out to stock the product, manually niangusha. Why? The ignorance, because you see right now I didn't have anything of value to give them. So it is me who really needed help from them.
Yeah.
You see, initially I thought that it was a symbiotic relationship. You see, later on, so now when I was like trying to launch this new product, then I came to realize it was kind of parasitic relationship.
Doktari, leo mama utupeleke microbiology.
Utajua nilikuwa class ya microbiology
101.
So as in parasitic, yani ni ile tu panya nauma na kipuliza. Na usikizi.
Yes.
With all due respect, just that it's because that they were benefiting more from you. Sometimes you see as a med rep, you think that you're the one who is benefiting from the sales process. Apparently, most of the time, sometimes, they are benefiting more than you, right? So for these other doctors that I expected to for them to stock the product and like get benefits from them, sikupata maze walinirusha inje clean, and I realized there is no loyalty. So they were loyal to the logo.
To the logo.
They were not loyal to me. So that was the sad reality. Yeah.
So there's this transition, as Matata mentioned. There were two kinds.
Yeah.
So there's that which was still there's that customers who was
Yeah.
still there because of the logo.
Yeah.
But again, in your article, you mentioned that there's that one other customer who just came through. The
Yeah.
guy wasn't your top 10 list of
Yeah.
doctors that you can approach. Was not your boy.
Yeah. So I'll mention him and big up to him and not mention his name because he runs a very like serious distribution chain here in the countries.
Yeah.
He's from Eldoret. A guy, in fact, I sent him a message.
Yeah.
Nikamuuliza, boss ni aje? So I have this product that we've brought in, and I'm trying to not even stock.
Just establish as in nataka tu just kidogo
Kamguu tu
conversation.
ndani tu.
Nataka to list. Unajua sometimes, so when you list a product, so you have an advantage because at least when they make an order, unaweza
It is
take
there.
an
It is
order.
visible.
So for me, the idea was, you see, because he wasn't, we weren't that close.
Yep.
So for me nilikuwa nimemweka kwanza ile category, huyu tu ndamwambia list, huyu sitamwambia stock.
Yeah,
Yes.
So sikuwa nimemweka at that level, humsi atitamsukumia mali fulani.
Yeah.
So apparently he said, hey, you says send me the price list. Says nini. Nikatuma. In my head I knew humsi haja respond after 2 days.
Atakupiga blue tick, your favorite color.
Akaniambia, in fact for him he responded. Akaniambia, hey Buddha, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
This is a guy that we had never had any interaction outside his chemist. So he had never been to any football game or any maeneo place.
Yes.
Or any other. Any tu ilikuwa tu ni kwa chemist yake. So later on after like 3 days ananiambia, hey Josh, ni aje? Your products are there. So in fact he gave me an order.
Yeah.
Then after like 3 days akaniambia, hey ni aje? Nimekuwa kwa meeting fulani na maboys wangu in the owner associations of pharmacies. Na nimwambia products venye ni fiti na pia iko na margins fiti. Kaniambia, hey ni aje?
Big up man.
Hey Buddha.
Kaona sikiza hii pod mazee. Glass ka 3 za uji.
Atakam.
Flask mzima.
Flask.
Huo mse alinijenga.
Alinijenga
mazi alirefer. So mi mpaka nakaa hapa. In fact from some pharmacies zingine ziko Nax, Nakuru, zingine Kisumu, up to Mombasa because umse alikuwa na hiyo connection.
Exactly.
Because of from the association.
Yeah.
So tunasikia tu order tu zinakam.
Yep.
Then the guy that I was working with ule mdozi sasa mwenye alikuwa ameleta hiyo
product.
Ananiuliza, hey Josh, now I see your network is valuable.
Yeah.
But it was from that one person.
Yeah.
You see, the ripple effect was so huge because of availability and everything.
Yes.
Other people just started stocking the product itself. Hata sikuwa na detail.
Yeah.
And by the time I was leaving your product to go do other things, manze tulikuwa tusha spread the whole country.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's because of him.
One person.
Huo ni mse anasimama sahi na by the way na amesimama. And sometimes kuna wase wafiti.
Yeah.
This guy
and you meet them.
Yeah. Umse sahi chain yake inadu better sahi ana import vitu zake. Of course sina ile si ati ni ule mse tazampigia tu anytime sahi. In fact it is not him who handles the business. Sahi kuna other people
asha ni delegate.
Amesha delegate hiyo process.
Yeah.
But ni ule as in kama uko na mali for example you want to import like something value.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ile quantity.
He's the go-to guy.
Mimi nampigia Buda namwambia, hey Josh, unakumbuka wenye nilikujenga?
Yeah.
Takujenga tena. He never gets tired.
We kuja tu.
So
I think definitely in one of the episodes we need to talk about Seattle Nangi med reps.
Why?
Hey, because kuna kaliba fulani. So Edson, I'm going to throw this to you, and this is especially in terms of building the value with the contacts that you have, knowing that these contacts you will still have them, but you will change as a person. You will go from being a medical representative, and one day you'll be a sales manager. You'll move from being a sales manager, and you'll go to a whole different place, maybe as a marketing manager. And after that, maybe one day you'll be the country GM or, wherever life takes you. Just talk to me a little bit about how do you view and nature these contacts so that then they can bring the same value like what Doktari hapa ametuambia.
Well, what I can say is that one thing for sure is that you need to add value to these HCPs, to these customers consistently.
Yeah.
Despite which company you're in.
Yeah.
Such that anywhere that you go, these guys can always rely on you because they know the kind of impact that it will have. As Doktari has mentioned, it is a ripple effect. That one person alimjengea jina vibaya sana. Yeah, and it is that one person that he did not even expect to come through for him. Yeah. So there's a thin line between is it professionalism and friendship?
Yes.
So if you're able to distinguish the two, get to know these contacts. I'm sure most of the time we have those 400 numbers, but right now, because we are seasoned,
yes.
We've had plenty of experience.
Yeah.
You can clearly identify out of these 400, it's only probably 50 who can assist me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe also to just support a little bit about what you're saying, and a topic that we've handled in the previous episodes, it's timing.
Yeah.
Timing ni muhimu maze. Do not abuse your contacts.
Yeah.
Do not abuse your contacts.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm sure in your career, reps who just used to call for the sake of calling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they'd be like, hey, Daktari Maze, hey, nimona magari zimeoshwa Maze saizi kongara. Are you okay? Yeah, and then the doctor will be like, oh, thank you for thinking about me. Alafu leo mandika dawa yangu.
That's what I'm mentioning. There needs to be a sense of professionalism. Yeah. What are you bringing on the table?
Yes.
No, but you're telling him to reminding him to prescribe. So bringing something on the table.
Apana, timing muhimu.
Yes.
You can't just reach out to them and unamwambia hey, doc kumeenda hivi lakini bado I hope unatia manani dawa yangu bado iko.
Yes.
Yeah. So that timing is really important. We also need to have that emotional quotient.
Yes.
Get to know how to deal with the clients.
Yes.
When to approach them.
Yeah.
So as much as we have all these contacts, we need to see how we can add value to them.
Yes.
Consistently and for the long term.
Yeah.
Ensure that you are an asset at the end of the day. Yeah. Don't attach yourself too much to the logo to a point that ukiingia mahali they'll always remember you from your previous company, from your previous brand.
Yes.
But ukiingia mahali they call you out by name, Matata, Doktari Otis,
yes,
Edu, Edson.
Yes.
That's what we should try and emulate over time.
Yeah.
Of course, as a new rep, those contacts will be important because of that quick business.
They will be, and I think maybe as we get closer to closing the pod, I think just to bring it back together is if you're starting out in the industry, then there's a very big possibility that you and the logo will be synonymous.
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah. But if you're starting in the industry, then the way you move and the way you plan yourself should be for you to build both value for the logo
and
also for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Doktari?
Yeah, I think Matata, you summarized it very well. And just to add a point on terms of value. Like if you're at a level where you are texting a HCP or calling a HCP to remind you of a prescription, oh, Daktari, please remember to prescribe like this nini for me. So that tells me that you've not done your homework right.
Yes.
You're not doing kwani unaendanga kudetail nini kwa ofisi. As in, and you claim that you have a relationship to call a doctor to remind. That is abuse. In fact, if I'm a doc, me I will not. In fact, nakata simu yako.
You are a doc.
Yeah. Nasema, as in, if I'm the one who is prescribing. If I'm the one who is prescribing,
yes,
me nitakata simu yako because that shows
yes,
that you are not giving value.
Yeah.
For you to just call a doc and to remind them about prescriptions. Remember,
Yes,
doctors are very busy.
they are.
And
they're human.
And
Yeah.
one thing that people ignore, and especially most reps ignore, they ignore the fact that these doctors, they are the sharpest brains that we have in the country, even globally. So that tells you that they have the capacity to take down, to unlearn,
Yes.
and unlearn and understand new things.
Yeah.
And that is why they are very keen on detailing. So they always remember.
Yes.
But if you're not giving any value
Yeah.
at the doctor's room, then you come as a message and reminder.
Yeah.
No, unless maybe they just don't want to be rude to you. They might entertain you a bit, but you will have lost value now.
Now, as we again head towards the tail end of this podcast, I want us to just discuss a little bit about the takeaways from this article. And I'll start with you, Edson, and we'll talk about how access does not equate to influence. Just because you have access to this person does not mean that kuna kitu ya maana unafanya.
Exactly. Yeah, very true. You might open the biggest, gain access to the biggest hospitals, to the biggest consultants, clinics or rooms. But what are you bringing on the table? It just always comes down to that.
Yeah.
What value are you adding? Is it a value addition call? Or you just come in because you're ticking a box? Yeah, because I believe most of the reps go wrong because they just want to tick a box. Niliona daktari. Yeah.
Yes.
But what kind of discussions did you have there during your call? Did you add value to them? And adding value to the doctor, actually, at the end of the day, is not for the doctor; it is for the patient. Yeah. Sometimes I think we tend to forget about that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Whatever brand that you're marketing, at the end of the day, the doctor is going to use that brand.
Yes.
Is he going to improve his patient?
It's for the patient.
It's for the patient.
Yeah.
So if you can offer a solution for the doctor, for his patients, then at the end of the day, that is how you get to get this doctor on board. Yeah. And this doctor will know that whichever company you go to, this is a serious guy. Yeah. Whichever company you go to, whatever product you're marketing, they know this product
that you are a true professional.
Exactly. This product is going to add value. So that is how you detach from the logo.
Definitely. Doktari.
Yep.
So there is also familiarity is not trust. How do you, for someone who does not understand it, how do you break it down for them?
You see, especially at the detailing room, because see, it's one of the KPIs for reps to see these doctors.
Yes.
And also doctors understand that. Sorry. Doctors understand that. So we have to give these reps some time.
Yes.
Just for them to tick in their KPI.
Yeah.
And doctors don't want to be rude to reps because they understand it's a sales process. So they don't want to be the bad person in
and
the
also
room.
who knows about the future.
Yeah, who knows
exactly.
the picture. So and everybody is like protecting themselves just to look from a 360-degree point of view. And so we tend to, as reps, confuse with familiarity with trust. Just because you have someone's contact or like you've had some interactions with them, so we assume automatically that they trust us. No. Attention does not equal to trust. The only thing that we have is attention. And how do we move? So the point for us is now, apart from doing adoption level for a product, just making sure that the doctor is going through those stages, also self-analyze yourself and look at, so how am I going to move from this familiarity to trust? Because it's relationship-based and it is based on mutual value that you get from each other.
Yeah, and I like it because I think you've also summarized the other three takeaways. If your network shrinks, when you change jobs, it was really never yours. Yeah. And then you also build relationships by solving problems, not by funding lunches. Some people actually, and I've seen this in practice, that unaenda mali unaambiwa hapana, wewe nunua lunch kwanza before tuongee na wewe. Yeah, and it happens because for some people that is the value that is attached to them, that when this guy pops in, we know we are fed. Yes. And then I think I will end this with, for me, my most favorite takeaway. Protect your name like an asset. One day, it may be all you have.
Yeah.
I think we should just say on that bombshell.
Perfect. I think
That is what he experienced. Logo ilienda akabaki hapo amesimama wima peke yake.
Yes.
You
Just
could-
him and
you-
his name.
you
Yes.
could have said it better than that.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yes.
We really think that we have a name, but when you need your name to open a door for you,
Yeah.
so you'll understand the value of your name.
Yeah.
So as Matata has put it, we need to protect it.
Yes.
It's an asset. It's not like an asset. It
Yeah.
is
It
the
is.
only asset that you have.
Yeah, and I think end of the day, even after you're gone from a company, sometimes your name remains longer than even you. Yeah, even if a rep goes and says, "Hi, I'm Danny from X," they'll always be asked,
Nani is still there.
is he still
Is
there?
he still there?
Ask him to call me.
Na nani alienda wapi?
Aliendanga
Nani
wapi?
ndiye alituletea hii?
Yes.
Eh.
I think those are definitely good signs, and something that if you're a young rep and you're in the field, or you're an old rep and you're in the field, these are some of the things that you should constantly be asking yourself. And please, also don't be too hard on yourself. I think the best thing about being a medical representative, it is a process of continuous improvement. Every
True.
single day you wake up and you see things in a different way than you saw them yesterday. It is a process of evolution that you have to embrace, that today might actually be your worst form compared to the kind of person you will be, let's say 2, 3, 4, 5 years to come. And I'm feeling like I'm going very deep. So
No,
Yeah.
actually, actually, it comes down to the way in our CVs tunatikanga we're very agile, we adapt easily. In the repping field, that is one field that you need to adapt, as you've
Yes.
mentioned,
yeah,
evolve.
yes,
Yeah.
It adapts every single day, and you need to move with that. If you don't, unaachwa nyuma.
Yeah, and just to wrap it up, like everyone in the healthcare industry is a medical rep.
yes,
Yes.
Everyone.
I love it. I love it.
See,
Still am too.
Doctors, you are medical
Yes.
representatives because you are handling patients, and at some point, after treating them, because you are running businesses, so you have to represent yourself well. And so our topics, the discussions that we have for you, it's just that we are okay. Like for today, we focus on these companies, but at the end of the day, you as a doctor, you're also a medical rep because you are handling patients. And also you are focusing on your business. Same thing as pharmacists. You guys dispensing, you are selling medication to this other person. So in that, you also, it's just that officially you are not categorized as medical reps, but so long as you're in the business of healthcare, and we are all focus on the patients, and we've in the process of focusing on the patients, we'll focus on how we reach these patients, and that is a selling process. So everyone here qualifies to be a medical representative, and it is a bang from me.
Hey, here.
Yes. And on that bombshell, we will come to the end of the podcast today. If you are listening to this podcast for the very first time, as you can tell, we have good vibes, and we are only here to do good. If you are coming back as regular listener, then welcome back. It is so nice to have you listening to this pod. What we want to ask from you is, please share this pod, but beyond sharing this pod, please leave us a comment. Tell us if you have your own experience. Reach out, just say hi. We are very nice people. We will definitely respond. And if you do get a minute, come hang out with us.
Definitely.
So